Campbell's first lady for a number of years. Mother Tune, can you stand up?
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out two. The 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Fields passing on the first play from scrimmage. Complete to Johnston here. Finding room at midfield. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. On the ground, it's a rookie from Tennessee. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Next receivers help spread the defense out. They were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Here's Fields. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sent back at the 38. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
And here we go on 4th down. Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. To about the 26 here.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now Fields. Over the middle, complete. It's Bryant. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Sampson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They work now on 2nd and 9. Now it's Fields. Flushed out right. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in.
It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. Here's Wilson. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints are an extra point away from drawing level. Folk connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off,
it's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 70 yards, and the Browns have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Eyes.
I see you watching, Drewski.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a
See the
second.
loop.
Remember,
You see him setting up the
next week
loop
they
blitz,
have the
right,
open week, so
Drew?
they're going to get some extended rest. Does that
Cheat
change how
niggas.
they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit.
So all they do is just cheat.
Because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Wilson. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. They'll get this out to Kamara. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 4. To throw again is Wilson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th.
14. 19.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many
Who you playing?
just go ahead and knock it down in that situation, turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
You muted.
I said I'm playing rook. Can you hear me?
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And able to get this out to the 25.
Yay, I hear you.
Playing rook.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Gets this complete to Shaheed. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Loop blitz all night.
Now Wilson.
That's
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jerome Baker. Past the 20.
Dude, a 96 speed, my man took off from him. Dang.
Has a touchdown. This defense, 3 interceptions now. And Charles, obviously that one for the pick six. That gives them a 3-possession lead, and they are really in the driver's seat.
Makes you imagine what that lead could become with another half of football left to play, because the way they're getting after it, partner, 30 points, 40 points, even 50 points, that type of a lead, not out of the question. And neither is another pick six.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here.
This loop blitzing niggas like.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A big
Crazy.
hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Wilson. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 2nd down and 3. Here's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Talanoa. And the Browns force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
I'm not gonna do that crap.
Back to throw. Fields. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Fields now to throw. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. A shotgun snap. Fields. Got a man here. It's Bryant. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. To throw is Fields. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if
This guy played
so
another
don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Again, Wilson. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. He's got his running back out of the backfield. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. He's going deep for Brown. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns will take over here just shy of the 30. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
2nd and 10. Fields. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Now Brown, he lost the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And a very elusive run as he'll wind up getting about 9 on that one.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. From the gun, it's Wilson.
That's terrible.
Here's another interception. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's Fields. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Line of scrimmage. Again, the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. He'll try again. And this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Now the man who broke Saints fans' hearts, Greg Zuerlein, on for the field goal. And the 13-year man puts it through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. To throw is Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Now it's Wilson. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. An explosive 38-yard pickup. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 6.
They run it again with Kamara. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
A 7-yard gain. The tackle made by Grayson Jenkins.
Here's Wilson. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Juwan Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
They'll turn to Kamara, and he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, 70 yards. And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Zerline connects on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Saints 13.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Browns are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Now Fields. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Quentin Johnston, 60 yards. And the Browns have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield, and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Back to throw. Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Martin Anderson. And the Browns will have solid field position.